Hello? Oh, hi, darling.
Half a world away, another day. So let's go play on the moon. It's a starry place. We embrace the space while we're miles away on the moon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Other Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs, and we have a lot to discuss today. We have a topic today that has gotten me more fired up in the past couple of days than almost anything in a while. The topic is sex myths. And the reason I chose this topic is because there was a clip going around Barstool Sports from another podcast here, the Mean Girl podcast with Alex Bennett and Jordan Woodruff. They were discussing whether or not blue balls were real. And Jordan very much thought that they were, had experienced in her life, getting, or I don't know if she actually experienced this, I might be putting words in her mouth, but the notion of being pressured into having a guy finish to rid him of these blue balls has just been this like rampant rumor for our entire lives. It's obviously insane, whatever. So I just got super pissed about it because I was like, no, they're not real. It's fucked up. As of today, as of like right as we were starting the show, apparently on another Barstool show, The Dog Walk with Eddie and Chief, who I both love very much, were discussing, they had a doctor on today, a male doctor, I want to make that clear, a doctor on today who explained another type of, like it has a different name, I can't really pronounce it. It is called epididymal hypertension, which is a fancy way to describe blue balls. And I'm not gonna, actually no, Gia, if I send you this, also, hey Gia, sorry.
Hey.
I got pissed off right as we were starting, and so I had to jump right into it.
No, I'm ready for it.
And can I send you this clip really quick to play it from Eddie and
Yeah.
this doctor?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Hold on, I'm texting it to you. So this clip is, I assume they spoke either this week or I'm not sure exactly when this interview happened, but Gia's gonna pull it up for us, and I want you guys to see what this guy has to say because I think it's interesting, and it will certainly piss me off. And then we have a call I'm gonna start taking calls immediately this episode because, we're chit-chatting about this today. It's happening, and I'm beside myself if I'm being honest. These rumors, this life. It all comes down to one thing, and I will discuss that after we see this clip.
Just give us like 2 seconds to pull it up.
Okay, cool. So while they're pulling it up, what I have to say about it, and you'll hear this guy say something about it, I'll actually read, I Googled the phrase that he used, and it says, blue balls, known medically as epididymal hypertension, can affect people with male genitals. It's not serious, but can cause pain and aching in the testicles after having an erection without an orgasm. And a subtext, another thing here says, the term blue balls is slang for epididymal hypertension.
All right, we can pull it up now.
Okay, play that, and then I'll read this other part.
It's real. It's real.
I was going to say.
Blue balls is real. Now, I feel like everyone listening, every guy's like, yeah, goddamn right, it's real. Like, smirking. But what it is the medical term is epididymal hypertension. When you get an erection, you got blood flow to your penis, which causes the erection. But you also get increased blood flow to your balls. And that increased blood flow causes swelling of your balls and some congestion of your balls. Hence, blue balls. It causes some pain and aching.
Is there like a length of time that it will
That's a good question.
Yeah?
I have no idea.
And that's the next study. We need the blue balls window. When were you finally feeling okay to go outside and do something different and get your mind off?
I like that.
I'd like to have my hand in that somehow.
Don't volunteer
I don't
to
want
be the guy.
A participant.
Okay, fantastic. I love Eddie. Again, he's a great interviewer, so that was funny, and I'm glad that I saw that clip in time because Eddie's question afterwards, talking about like, so how much time, whatever, what do we have to deal with here, is interesting to me. And based on that man's description of what blue balls is, it just sounds like it's uncomfortable when all the blood in your body flows to one place, and then it has to take a little bit of time to flow back elsewhere into your body, okay? I'm about to look this up for myself, but does blood not flow to your clitoris? Like, does blood not flow? Like, does this not happen to other people? Like, there are certainly times when I'm having sex and I don't orgasm and you feel like, like annoyed afterwards. Is that general feeling of annoyance what these men are claiming is blue balls? So much so that for years, we have all been targeted in this way to feel guilty for not having men come? Is that the equivalent? Because they gave it a medical term. Clearly, people are so pissy about it, whatever. But I think that I speak for us all when we say that we know when it comes to sickness, inconvenience, slight pain at all, men are weaker than women. That's just a fact. A man has a cold and he can't move from the fucking couch for a week. A woman has a cold and she like has a fucking baby. You know what I mean? Shit like that happens all the time. And I do not fucking understand why this is even a topic of conversation. You're sexually frustrated, so we had to make a medical term for it. I am beside myself, and I don't fucking believe it. I'm gonna take a call right now from Lonnie from New Jersey who wants to talk about it. Lonnie, what's going on? What do you have for me?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you? I'm a little pissed off about the blue balls, but I'm willing to work through it.
I understand. I've honestly only ever had that when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, I mean, sometimes you just gotta jerk off. Like
also that, like just jerk off. Like if you're like freaking the fuck out and you're like, oh no, my poor ball sack is just too swollen. Go jerk off for 5 minutes. If you're that swollen, it should take 30 seconds. No?
Exactly. It is painful. I mean, in the sense, I don't like obviously.
Let me ask you this, Lonnie. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the pain?
10 being what?
10 being the
Being,
worst.
like, dying?
10 being like break your arm. 1 being like
shit.
you like hit your elbow on the table is 1.
Probably like a 3.
Yes, thank you. I was hoping for that kind of answer because, like, again, this minor inconvenience.
It's not pain.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's painful. I would not compare it to like menstrual cramps because I can't experience that.
True.
I wouldn't ask you to compare menstrual cramps or anything to being kicked in the balls.
Okay.
But
Right. That's fair.
You know, like being lightly tapped in the balls, it's similar.
So they're obviously like your balls are sensitive.
When I was younger.
Right. So obviously.
They're sensitive.
Right, balls are sensitive. How long would you say, like, in your own experience, have blue balls lasted? Whether you were younger, like, did you notice, like, how was this a long time or what?
As long as you jerk off and get the relief, you're fine.
Lonnie, I thank you for this call because you've inadvertently validated me. I know that people will be like, oh, whatever about this whole situation, but this is what I'm talking about when I say that people are over the top about this to the point where, like, even as an adult woman who knows that this is not a real thing that should like guilt people into having sex or having someone finish whatever, I still in my head had this guilt feeling of like, oh no, if he didn't come, like I feel bad and I feel like it's my fault and this poor guy is gonna be stuck with blue balls. Like that's just not just not something to even be concerned about, and that's why like this whole topic conversation I think is insane.
I've only ever experienced when I was younger.
Right.
And I think it was just because, you know, I didn't get the relief that I was expecting. And it doesn't necessarily blame the girl or anything. It's just, you know, you just need that relief. And if you're ashamed to say that you jerk off or you know, grow up. Grow the fuck up.
Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your call. You're fabulous. You can call back anytime.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Talk to you later. All right. Now, well, let's just roll right into another call. We have Laura from Boise also wants to talk about blue balls. Laura, what's going on, girl? Long way from us here. Boise. Wow. What's going on?
Long way. It doesn't feel so far away. Hey,
Love it.
you know, I have a question. You know, blue balls, right? I mean, I would have guys limping out of my house because I was a virgin until I was 22. Limping, like
I can't. These fucking people, man, the gambit that they've been running on us for years, it's time to take a stand. It is time to take
really
a stand. And I will not take this anymore. Limping out of the house? I'm losing my fucking mind.
Okay, question though. When maybe too graphic. When you're on your period, you're newly dating a guy.
Yes.
You're sleeping together at this point. Do you and you're on your period, do you just send him home with the blue balls, or do you know, it's not mutual at this point. He's not going to fool around with you. What do? Do you finish him? Do you have to, or can you just be like?
That's another part of it. It's like some guys don't care about periods. Some guys do care. I personally am a girl who I am not trying to fuck on my period just because I don't want the inconvenience. But I will say I'm hornier on my period for sure. I would I'm masturbating my dick off during my period. But I think that I think that expectation is like a blowjob. Like it's like, oh well, we can't have sex, so you better give me a blowjob. So it's like, what the fuck is that? Like what if I don't feel like it? What if I don't want to do that right now? What if I don't want to overcome the issues that I'm feeling right now? My stomach hurts. I'm feeling bitchy. My temperatures are changing rapidly. What if I suddenly don't want to put a dick in my mouth? Like, what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna complain about the blue balls? And Laura, here's a question for you. Here's a question back to you. I am heated by this.
Love
The
it.
question back to you. Say you are on your period and you are very horny and you're really trying to have sex, and the guy is like, no, I don't want to because I think it's gross. Are we now able to get mad? Well, like, oh well, fuck you. Like you've given me blue balls also. Like I have this feeling of pent up frustration. It's uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable, maybe not physically in my ball sack, but I'm uncomfortable in my mood, and I also need a release. So what are we doing
absolutely.
here? Why isn't that a part of the conversation? That's all I'm saying.
I know. Well, and why is it hot for a guy to have sex with you on your period? Like, why do I like? Like,
I
why
don't
do we
know.
like
I
that?
don't know, because it's like fucking primal or whatever. It's like because our bodies are like make a baby, and it's like no thanks,
Yeah.
I now I have to like make a mess for a week. It's like not the greatest of all time. It's so insane. But yeah, you're right. That has become the expectation where it's like they come over and you're on your period, nobody wants to have sex, so like give me a blowjob or like jerk me off, whatever, because somehow that's fair. Because if we kiss a little bit or make out or whatever, I'm sorry that you have a boner in 30 seconds. Sorry, I'm like so beautiful.
Exactly.
But it's like, is that my fault that you can't control your boner? Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's not my responsibility to get rid of your blue balls. Metaphoric.
Yeah. If I'm not going to get off, then you have to get then I have to wait. So I have to bleed and also put your dick in my mouth. Like
Exactly.
Wait,
Exactly.
It's just a double negative.
It's fucked up. It's a real fucked up world we live in, Laura. It's a fucked up world.
It's fucked up.
We're gonna change it today, single-handedly on this episode of On the Other Line. I already am saying
All right.
today we're gonna do it.
I was literally I was in this situation just a couple nights ago, so hopefully the guy that I'm seeing is not listening to this. And
I hope he is. I hope he is, and that he learns a lesson because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right.
my
I did
God.
it anyways. I sucked his dick. I did it because I like him.
Of course,
so.
because we're givers. You know what I mean? Like we want to make people happy. We want to take the high road and be like, you know what? You were nice to me today. You didn't piss me off as much as usual. So I'll give you a little something. But tell you what, if you come at me funny, I don't want it, and you better respect
Exactly.
that. That's just the facts.
Exactly.
It's just the facts. Laura, I
Thank
appreciate you calling and continuing to fire me up. I really appreciate it. You can also call back anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to chat. Talk to you later.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
All right, bye. These were perfect calls. I'm so happy to have gotten both of those calls because it got most of my thoughts out that I was trying to talk about this entire time. Like, I am so thrown by this idea of feeling the need to satiate someone else's needs from a medical standpoint just because they have minor discomfort, a 3 on the scale of 10, minor discomfort, it is now our responsibility. So that was the other part I wanted to read from my phone. Let me pull this thing up again. I was reading this before we started showing that clip. The term blue balls is slang for epididymal hypertension, which is thought to occur when you get sexually aroused for an extended period of time but don't have an orgasm or ejaculation. It is not dangerous, and it is not a reason to pressure a partner into sexual activity. I like that. It's like, so people Google it, and it's the second thing that comes up, but the first thing that comes up is this like sad-ass guy looking out the window. Can you fucking see that? Gia, is that like legible through the thing? This sad man, oh no, when you Google blue ball, it's fucking embarrassing. Grow up, straight up grow up. I forget who said that on the phone, but literally grow the fuck up. Look at this. Look at this man. Oh, want. Oh, so sorry that your balls are tender for 2 seconds. Grow the fuck up and just jerk off. Like, it's beyond to me, and I can't believe that all these people have been like pushing this bullshit for so long. I'm just so sick of it. But even the discussion has been running rampant around the office, and again, like obviously they were talking to doctors, and people are trying to like keep up this, I don't know, I'm trying to think of this ruse that blue balls are real and that we should, be sensitive about it. And I can't stand it anymore. So I had to make the entire topic of the show today sex myths, because there are a lot of things in life that or a lot of situations in life where this happens, and people tell you that, that one thing sexually is one way, and in reality, it's a completely different way. So let's hit a break real quick, and then we'll come back and get into some of those. And welcome back to On the Other Line. As I said before, today we are discussing sex myths. We just had a full 15-minute rant full of blue ball myth debusters, debunkers, whatever the fuck you want to say it. If you want to call in and chat about it with me, the number is 888-STOOL22. Also, for regular numbers, 888-786-6522. We have a call here from someone named Cormac McLagan from New York who wants to talk about the Yankees, which, I mean, I don't know why, but Cormac, are you just trying to distract me from talking shit about blue balls? Like, what's happening? Oh, no, he hung up. Gia, do you think we scared him away?
I was so confused. He goes, yeah, I want to talk about the Yankees. I go, the Yankees? He's like, yeah.
Maybe he thought we were Brandon Walker's show still.
Yeah, or maybe he thought, maybe he's just trying to troll us or something.
I would have chopped it up. I would have been like, yeah, Aaron Judge, what about him?
RBIs, yeah, home run.
Yeah, let's go. Ooh, they're doing great this year. They might win the World Series. That's all I fucking hear all day long. I sit next to Tommy Smokes. I hear about it. So that's shout out to Cormac McLagan who just called in. Want to talk about the Yankees, not Quidditch. So let's get into what our show topic is. The first thing, obviously we talked about blue balls already. We can continue talking about that throughout the show. But the next myth that I wanted to debunk is from a story that I think might be a story that like everyone has from high school. There's always like one girl or two girls in their high school that for some reason like had sex in the woods at some point, but they didn't have vaginal sex, they had anal sex because they wanted to stay a virgin. So that's the thing. Anal sex means you're a virgin. I don't think so. I would argue that you're like even less of a virgin with anal sex. Like usually we have a little stepping ladder. We work our way up here. We warm it up a little bit. And I would say that vaginal sex way fucking easier than anal sex. There's a lot of prep that goes into that. I know, again, the story that I'm talking about specifically is a girl that I went to high school with, and this is a rumor. I don't even know if it was real. It probably was, but that her thing was like, I'll have anal sex. I won't have vaginal sex. And as like a 15, 16, 17-year-old opting into anal sex over vaginal sex, like that's fucking brave. And that also to me just feels extremely ill-informed. Like I don't know how these people get this way. And I'm just gonna go ahead and like probably blame the Catholic Church. I think that's a safe bet to just blame the church. But I think that that there are a lot of people that value one thing over another. I know that like some women will have sex all day long, but they refuse to give blowjobs because it's too intimate, which I guess could be true. I can't decide. I've never been able to decide what is more intimate, a blowjob or regular sex. I guess like putting something in your mouth is like a little more like, ooh, I trust you enough to put this in my mouth. But if I trust you enough to like put it in my vag, I'm probably like fine with my mouth. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, you know how they say like a dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's mouth or whatever? I feel like I brush my teeth a lot and I'm not worried about my own mouth. And so but I'm definitely more worried about like my vagina getting infected than my mouth. Like I feel like I'll brush my teeth right away and it'll be cool. Like I'm not quite sure where that comes from, why it happens, but I feel like everybody has a story like that of somebody that they know growing up that just like refused to have regular sex and would only have anal sex. And I'm here to tell you that you can just have regular sex. You're losing all kinds of virginities. How do you define virginity? I will say this, I don't think that that giving someone a blowjob means that you're no longer a virgin. There are people who are like, a blowjob is sex. And I'm like, I don't know who started that, probably the Catholic Church, but I just don't agree with that. I think like, again, that's a stepping stone. We have to work our way up the ladder, work up the courage, refine our skills, get our shit in order. And then once you have gotten it all out of the way, it's a free for all. And you just do whatever the fuck you want. So, all right. Speaking of the Catholic Church, the next one I have on here that have perpetuated sex myths is just religious fears. Generally, I got a lot of different DMs about this, and we'll go into some DMs. I screenshotted some. Thank you to everybody who replied to my Instagram stories. If ever you guys are wanting to do that, I always post on my Instagram, usually the day of or the day before, just like a questions thing, so we can add in some DMs in addition to the calls. So keep an eye out for those. My Instagram is @kelly.keegs. The On the Other Line Instagram is _the_other_line. So keep an eye out for those. Religious fears were a big topic. A lot of people think that if they have sex, they're going to die, or they're going to go to hell, or they'll be smited where they sleep. there's, they're impure, they're no longer worthy of anything, they're like disgusting now. Like it's this big message that's just been perpetuated for so long to, honestly, like, I guess it's really just to promote abstinence. Like they don't want people getting like pregnant out of wedlock. Like that's like a Catholic Church thing I know for real. But I don't know why it does seem to kind of go across the board for all of the like the religions that come down hard on sex. Like I don't know enough about the other ones to really comment on them, but I know that in a lot of cultures where their religion is kind of tied in with the culture, this always happens. And I think it's kind of fucked up. I think it's fucked up to be like, oh, you're gonna die if you have sex. Because people have these fears for so long, and then all of a sudden they're 30 years old and they have never had sex and they're freaking the fuck out. And they're like, well, I'm gonna die if I have sex. And they've missed out on like, I don't know, 15 years of like sex and fun and like figuring their lives out. And then all of a sudden, they're 50 years old. They have no idea what they're doing. They have trouble being in a relationship because they're nervous about this, I guess. Or they just find like other freaks who are also afraid. Like I feel bad for people like that. And I feel like we need to do like one big intervention with everybody on Earth and just be like, hey, sex is cool. Just have sex. You know what I mean? Like animals have sex all the time. They're not worried about dying. They're always having sex. They're always hanging around. We're animals too. Why is sex tied in with religion? I feel like it shouldn't be ever when it comes to like sex acts. Like what the fuck is going on here? It feels controlling. It feels weird, which is why I don't love religion. I talk a lot of shit about it. My next one on here is one of my favorites of all time that I love, and it's that you'll go blind if you masturbate too much. And I know that a lot of guys are told this as they're growing up. I don't know, again, by who or by what, probably by like, maybe their moms or maybe like, again, maybe religious regions, whatever. I don't know where it comes from. But to seriously say that you will go blind if you come too much is fucking crazy. Like, I don't understand how you get to a point in your life where people are genuinely believing that other people are walking around in this world and doing the same thing as you. Like, I understand that that some people are sheltered and maybe they're like a little prudish and they're not quite like as sexually advanced, but movies and TV exist, like the radio exists, stories exist, books exist. Like, there's all kinds of sex and all these things. And I guess if you're stuck in like a weird cult and you're not allowed to read books or whatever, I just recently watched that like Keep Sweet and Pray thing, so I've had cults on the brain, which is fucking crazy, by the way. If you haven't watched it, it's a really weird like cult polygamy shit. Like, it's nuts. But they had their like books monitored and like all this other shit. So they, they're the exception. They can believe all of these horrible stories because they don't know any better. But I feel like as a teenage boy, if you're a teenage boy and you hear you'll go blind if you masturbate too much. Going right back to the blue balls and our boy Lonnie earlier, who was talking about, I feel like I only felt that when I was younger. Yeah, probably because you're a little kid and you're afraid that you're going to go blind if you come too much. Like, that's out of control. That shouldn't be a thing. Why is anybody thinking this? I assume that every adult running around that's had sex or jerked off or whatever, who's still walking around with their eyeballs, perfectly fine. I assume that they know that this is not true. But if there's anybody out there withholding masturbation because they're worried about going blind, you better fucking nip that in the bud quick. My last one on my little list is there's a plethora of rumors, different ways that say like you can't get pregnant if. And I probably got the most DMs about this today that were like pregnancy related, like, oh, you can't get pregnant if you pull out. You can't get pregnant if the girl's on top. You can't get pregnant if if you're having sex on your period. Like, there's a lot of different rumors that go around about like, oh, you can't get pregnant if. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can get pregnant at any time. I don't know who's not paying attention in health class, who's not paying attention in, just to anything, to the news, to whatever. Those like people who aren't struggling with like fertility issues and other factors, things like that, you can get pregnant at any fucking time, and it doesn't matter like if there's cum inside your vagina, you can get pregnant. Like, I don't know why anybody thinks other than that. Like, that's fucking crazy. Gia, is there a way to pull up one of the DMs involves Coca-Cola? I don't know if I didn't name them, so it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, we can pull it up right now.
Yeah, see, and just show that because this one is the craziest one. Using Coca-Cola to prevent pregnancy. So now this one is something that I had like 4 or 5 people send this to me. I have never heard this in my life. Using Coca-Cola to prevent pregnancy. So I did a little Googling. Apparently in the 50s and 60s, which is right around when Coca-Cola was like popping off, everybody's drinking Coke, whatever. They said that Coca-Cola almost acted as like a spermicide. So people were out here pouring Coca-Cola on their vaginas, like in their vagina, on their vagina, like all this stuff to prevent pregnancy. And I just don't understand that either. I guess like maybe they think, oh, right, you know, original Coca-Cola takes paint off a car. Why can't it kill a couple sperm? I guess I can maybe see where that comes from. But what? What are we doing here? I'm so blown away by like the like poor education when it comes to sex stuff. Like I have never even heard this rumor before. I've never heard anything about it. I think it's fucking crazy. But that is certainly the craziest one that I saw. And I hope nobody's fucking doing that. But I did think it was interesting that it happened in like the 50s and the 60s when I guess, and my research didn't bring me this far, but I'm trying to see what year, when was birth control invented? Like, let's see, when was birth control invented? It was invented in June of 1960. Oh yeah, Summer of Love, duh. And so that makes sense. But before birth control was invented, people were just pouring Coke up their pussy. Like that's fucking nuts to me. That's out of control. I can't believe that was happening. But I guess again, when you are like, people haven't explored sexuality. People at the time, of course, it was like taboo. You couldn't really talk about it. Nobody knows what's going on. I don't fucking know. But I think it's insane. I think all the DMs I got were insane, so we're going to get into those when we come back from a quick break. And welcome back from another break. Here I am, Kelly Keegs, on the other line. We're talking about sex myths. Again, if you'd like to call in and debate about this, go ahead. The number is 888-STOOL22, 888-786-6522. Now, you know that I have gone overboard when we break out the All Too Well notebook. I was researching today. I was writing notes. I was asking people their thoughts on all this bullshit. And I have a couple other things that I wanted to bring up before we get into these DMs. They're quick. One is another myth that was funny is that semen is good for your teeth / your skin. That is just, again, centered around guys wanting blowjobs. I don't think semen's good for your teeth. No dentist has ever told me that. I feel like that'd be a thing that a dentist would tell a girl. Like I would probably give more blowjobs if it meant I got whiter teeth. Like that's a really cheap way to whiten my teeth. So, or to strengthen my teeth even. Like I would do whatever, like whatever. That should be in a medical journal if that's true. Clearly it's not. I also went around the office today, or no, wait, before I do that, getting pregnant, same thing with she won't get pregnant, blah, blah, blah. There's also rumors of like, you will get pregnant, like if you're in a hot tub or something like that, that you can also get pregnant. Like that's fucking ridiculous, whatever, it's insane. We have a call here from, it's Ryan from Cleveland who is wanting to talk about blue balls. Ryan, what do you have for me here? Are you gonna piss me off or are we gonna have a good chat?
I don't know. It depends on what you think about blue balls.
Okay. What do you think about blue balls?
I heard that you think that they're a myth.
I do, in fact, think that they're a myth. What are your thoughts about them?
I think they're very real. I don't know how anyone thinks that they're fake.
Okay. So in your experience with blue balls, I assume you've had experience, right?
I have had an experience.
Have you had a lot of experience or just like a couple of times in your life you've had this slightly uncomfortable sensations in your balls?
I would say probably once or twice. One very memorable one.
Oh, interesting. Tell me about that. Tell me about it. I'm interested.
I think I was in like 8th grade or freshman year.
Okay.
And, just first girlfriend ever, things got a little heated. And then next thing you know, there was no ejaculation. And then your stomach hurts and your balls feel like they're about to they feel like every time you move that they're in severe pain.
Okay. And severe pain. Okay. So we had somebody call in earlier who said, I asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain of blue balls, 10 being like break your arm, 1 being like you hit your elbow on the side of the table. Where would you rank your severe blue ball pain?
Well, yeah, I would say probably around like a 6 then. Severe pain, maybe it might have been a little hyperbole.
Okay,
yeah.
Damn. All right. And so, a little bit of a hyperbole, sure. So, how long did it last?
think it lasted until, this was also a long time ago, but I'm going to go ahead and say it lasted until next ejaculation.
All right. Was that a short window of time? Did you run home and jerk off? Was it all good after that?
I think I had to. Well, at the time I didn't drive, so my mom would pick me up.
Right. That's tough. That is tough to be.
I was kind of just suffering in pain.
That's tough to be right, of course, suffering. That's tough to be dealing with sensitive balls in front of your mom. Yeah, that's a tough deal.
Yeah, tough subject to bring up when you're saying that. Yeah.
Tough. Like, mom, like, pedal to the metal, step on the gas. We got to get home. I got to get the demons out. I understand.
Yeah, I got to do the demons.
I get it. I understand that feeling. I think that I don't know. I just can't, in a world, actually process the fact that this is now like medically deemed. It has its own pseudo name that we're apparently respecting, because I just can't believe that the pain is that much. And maybe that's me being a bitch. Like, maybe I'm totally writing these people off and I'm being rude about it. But I don't know, Ryan. I think maybe you were a little bit of a complainer in the 8th grade.
Maybe I was a complainer back in the day. I don't know.
Could have been.
I was just a little excited and a little butthurt that I didn't actually get to ejaculate with the girl that I was with.
I think, Ryan, right there, we found the root of our problem. Do you think that maybe blue balls directly correlates with a bruised ego?
Yeah, like maybe an emotional pain in my nuts?
Could be. It could be. It could maybe be phantom pain. Again, you're sad and you're like, it's close to your dick. Your dick by itself is fine. So it's like, what's left? The balls. They're going to be sensitive, just like I feel right now after not being able to come around this girl. I get it. It's
All
tough.
right.
It's tough, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I swayed it a little bit. I don't know how you're feeling. You're still stuck on the it's a myth train.
Yeah, I'm still
Maybe
pretty stuck.
Different. Who knows?
That's what I mean. Maybe everybody's experience is different. Maybe their pain tolerances are different. Maybe there are all kinds of factors that go into it. But no, I'm still pretty firmly in the myth camp. But like I said, you have this own experience for yourself, and that is your journey. And I'm sorry that you felt this pain in your balls in the 8th grade.
Well, I appreciate your sympathies. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for chatting, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Damn. So. Yeah, like, again, even that conversation itself, and this is not an offense to Ryan. Like, Ryan was very nice. I was a little bitchy to him. But I think that, generally speaking, it does have a little bit to do with, like, I don't know, like, feeling butthurt. Like he said, like, feeling like, like, I didn't get to come. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's that feeling. And it's that frustration that I think directs your attention to the swelling in your balls, I guess. Like, that's whatever. But I'm telling you right now, that if I am also making out with somebody and it's like we're getting hot and heavy and we don't fuck, I'm still also thinking about that. I'm still frustrated. I'm still now in a bad mood. Maybe it's not this like, quote unquote severe physical pain that people are experiencing. I don't know. I just don't believe that anybody is actually so hurt that we needed to like medically diagnose the slow release of blood from your balls. I just don't think that needed to happen. I think it's fucking crazy. So we can move on from that as well. I think, I just think it's fucking crazy. I will say this. Another thing that I discovered in my travels when I was Googling today was, because when I was Googling blue balls, it was talking about the exact opposite, like erectile dysfunction, blah, blah, blah. I went down a weird hole. And I found out today, Gia, I don't know if you've ever heard about this, that there is such a thing as female sexual dysfunction. There's like girls also.
Like you can't get wet?
Yes, like you can't get wet, you can't get aroused, you can't get like into the moment. It's like it's the exact thing as like erectile dysfunction, but it's for women.
Yeah, I feel like
I had no idea.
I feel like I have heard of that, but not like the scientific name of it.
Neither have I. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard about it in a way of like, oh, my friend's like, I'm just not in the mood, something's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And usually it's like hormone related, where it's like, oh, I'm just, I'm like, I'm bumming, I don't feel good about myself, whatever. And that probably like plays a factor into it. But yeah, so, girls get it too. So next time you're trying to make fun of somebody with erectile dysfunction, think about, there's a lot of girls out there who are struggling with it too, I guess. So, what are you gonna do? And, at the end of the day, we're all pretty moody, I think, on both sides. I think that girls get a lot of flack for hormones and being moody or whatever, but clearly, based on all the conversations about blue balls today, men also get hormonal and moody when it comes to that. Again, right before you go into the DMs, I asked a couple of people in the office some other weird things that they have heard before. I got a variety of weird answers. One of them was, I forget who told me this. I won't say anybody's names. I can't remember who told me all these stories, but it was that a vagina was just a ball sack. Like it was just like the dick and balls, but without the dick, and that was a vagina, which I think is crazy. Again, super misinformed. What the fuck is that all about? Another one was someone in the office said that when they were younger, they thought that if girls wanted to have sex with each other, that they would put their boobs inside of each other's vaginas. Now, that one really threw me off a ledge. I don't understand how that even physically would work. How is that like, I'm trying to think of like putting my titty into a vagina. Like I guess you have, first of all, you have to have huge boobs to be able to do it because and I guess long, skinny boobs. I don't even think anybody could like shape their boobs in the way to do that. So that's a crazy fucking thing. Whoever was spreading that rumor, probably in elementary school, was really fucking up. That's insane. My favorite, definitely though, was that if you pee in a girl, you get her pregnant. Another pregnancy thing, another fake bullshit, whatever. That's so insane. I love it. So those are, nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. Everybody hears shit throughout their lives. Everybody has had a different sexual education. Everybody has different friends who have had different experiences. And I think it's crazy and interesting how many different stories, different myths, different lies have come out of all of this. It's like blowing my mind. So let's get into a couple of the DMs that I got, and we'll debunk a few more of these myths. Let's see. The whole hot tub thing. Yes, I mentioned this briefly before we took the call. I have also heard this rumor, like when we were growing up, and it made everybody nervous, that if you were in a hot tub with someone and you were making out or hooking up or whatever, and this person like came in the hot tub, not inside you, you could still get pregnant because people are like, oh, the heat of the hot tub doesn't kill sperm upon ejaculation. Everybody knows that if a sperm hits the air, it's no longer going to get anybody pregnant. I don't know what that's all about. I think it's the temperature thing. So if you like come into a hot tub, these sperm could swim through the water and somehow find your vagina and impregnate you. Come on, people. Think about that journey. Think about the journey of that. Even if you're pressed up against each other, first of all, you probably like have a bathing suit on. And if you don't, if you guys are both naked and there's cum everywhere, it's not like your vagina is this like wide open cavernous hole that sperm can just like fly the fuck up it. That makes no sense. It's not that easy. It's just not that easy. It's insane. Let's click the next one. Uncircumcised is more pleasurable. People say this all the time. I think that I've seen different like conflicting reports that for men, uncircumcised is more pleasurable because it's like you're more sensitive underneath like the foreskin or whatever. I have no experience with any uncircumcised penis. I'll say that right now. I just don't. So I don't really know the difference in that. I guarantee that is not true for women. I've never heard a girl say like, oh, he's uncircumcised. Like, ooh, yum. Like, let me have that. That's amazing. That's way better. If that were the case, I think that people would not be circumcised as often. I think that it's just, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would opt not to have that done. And I also feel like
there would be a less of like a taboo. I don't know if taboo is the right word, but like I feel like like guys get made fun of like if they're not
100%,
circumcised.
100%.
I feel
especially in America.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like if that was the case, then they wouldn't be getting made fun of.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Damn, he's slaying all that pussy. Like his uncircumcised dick is stealing your girl." You know what I mean? Like that's the shit. Where it's like that's something we would have heard about. That's something that we would know about. And the fact that we have never heard that just means that it is null and void. And I don't accept that. So let's head to the next one. Teen jerking off 56 times and dies of a heart attack. Oh, this was like a rumor or a fake news story or something like that. Again, this to me is probably just a rumor spread by some like overbearing parent or some sort of religious whatever that just is trying to prevent people from like jerking off all the time or thinking about sex or whatever. 56 times, I mean, I don't know what kind of time period this was in. I do know that if you like jerk off a lot in one sitting, you probably like won't feel good. Like I feel like that after a while, it's like exhausting. I'm sure it's like puffing out fumes at a certain point. Like there's only so much semen that can come out in a short period of time. You got to give it some time to like, I don't know, spin itself back up. I don't really know what's all going on up there. Again, in the balls, you got to give the balls a break. They're very sensitive. We've learned today. I think that I think that this is just like a crazy story that didn't happen and like would never happen ever.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Was there ever a rumor in your high school or middle school that there was like, for example, in my high school, there was a rumor that a kid in my grade fell into a leaf pile and cut his ball sack open and his ball fell out. And he put it in his pocket and he had to walk home.
Stop it. Stop it.
And I just asked Madeline, and she said that there was a similar rumor in her high school.
No.
And I fully believed it. I was like, oh, like that makes sense. Like the circular part of the ball falls out.
Like the testicle inside.
Yes.
It's just that easy for it to. My coin purse opened. I gotta put all the coins back in. I better save it in my pocket for later. These people, how do people go through life?
Oh God, I felt so bad for the kid who the rumor was about.
I mean, how? And also, this kid goes through life with this rumor. Like, does he know that rumor is about him? Like, does he ever hear that rumor? I wonder. No, I've never heard that before, but it's fucking hilarious. Like, I don't even know how deep you'd have to cut into a ball sack to be able to just like pull out a testicle as if it's you know, like I said, it's a quarter. I don't think it's that easy. I feel like it's attached way more than that. So how do people have this conversation? Like, and again, that's a thing that girls would hear and believe, because girls are like, oh shit, like I don't have a ball sack, I don't have a penis, I don't really know what that's all about. Oh my God, this poor kid, you know, he had to carry home his testicles in his pocket. It's fucking crazy. It's out of control. Let's hit another commercial. We'll come back, do some DMs and some voicemail. And welcome back to our last segment on the other line, the last call. We are going to be taking a couple of voicemails that we had ahead of time. I love doing the voicemails. I always do. If you ever want to leave a voicemail, again, check out our Instagram. And usually we post the upcoming topic for the week, giving you an opportunity to leave a voicemail if you aren't able to call in live. The number there is 551-258-3436. So go ahead, do that whenever you want. Let's start off by ending the show finally talking about blue balls.
All I have to say is sex myths, blue balls. That shit, we know it's fake.
That's it. That's the whole voicemail. It was a short voicemail, and I had to include it because I just need to know other people are on my side. I just need to know other people are thinking the same thing. I think on this show, maybe I would love like a balls counter, balls and ball sack counter, because I think I've said it more times on this show than I ever have in my life. I think that I don't care what like any doctor is telling me. I think that blue balls are fake, and I just will always think it. And I hope to God that no one ever gets pressured into like having to have someone finish out of guilt because of these blue balls, out of guilt for their discomfort, which again, we've established is not severe, not that painful, and not that big of a deal. It's just sensitivity in a sensitive area. I think that women also understand sensitivity in a sensitive area, and you know, take that as you will, whatever. Let's jump into use it.
Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Another short one, a quote from I believe it's a quote from 40-Year-Old Virgin. If you don't use it, you lose it. That's like that's the thing, the myth, whatever. Obviously untrue. I think that if you're not having sex or you're not jerking off or all of these things, whatever, I do think that, you know, maybe you do have some pent up frustration in a certain way. I am very pro masturbating. I'm very pro having sex. I'm very pro all those things to release tension, to release stress. You know, obviously you want to do it because you want to do it, but it's a positive side of things. It's really nice to also feel stress-free afterwards. Like it's one of those things, whatever. But so maybe if you aren't using it or aren't using it as much as you would like to, I think that maybe you've got a little bit of pent-up frustration and all that bullshit. But generally speaking, no, you can always fuck and you can always come. I think that's just the moral of the story. Let's play the last one, where to finish.
This might be a weird topic, I guess, but when is the best time to decide where sex is going to finish? Is it before it starts? Is it in the beginning of it? I always find it gets really awkward when right at the end, you're like, oh, I'm going to go here. And she's like, oh, I don't really want that, or I was thinking this. And then you're in a weird stalemate. So when would you say the best time to decide that is? You don't want to bring it up too early. So I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, so this guy DM'd me ahead of time and was like, "Can I call in and just like ask an advice question, sex related?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. This is we're sexy time." I told my parents not to watch this episode, so that's why I said balls so many times. I think that that this is interesting because it is always an awkward moment if you're having sex with someone and they are like unsure where to come. If you are like if you're having unprotected sex, if you're having sex with a condom on, you just like come in the condom, that's fine, whatever. If you're not, if you're pulling out, you're doing whatever, you're doing blowjobs, you're doing, hand stuff, whatever it is that you're doing, I think that it's not as awkward as people think to like ask where to come. I think that you also don't need to ask. Maybe you throw out a suggestion like, oh, like, can I come on your stomach? Can I come on your face? And you will maybe get rejected, but then almost always, I would think, and also in my own experience, I think that I will provide an alternative. So say if somebody's like, can I come in your face? And I'll be like, no, but come here. Or like, can I come in your stomach? No, it's a mess, like, come wherever. Like, there's always another option. And I think that that's not a big deal. We're all thinking about the mess. We're all thinking about not trying to get pregnant. We're all thinking about those kind of things. So we're in that one together. I don't think that that's like a thing that guys have to worry about. It's very much more like whatever the girl is wanting in that scenario, and just listen to what they have to say. It's on them to like let you know, I think, and especially if it's like, can I come inside you? And she says, no, you better fucking not. Like that's the kind of shit that you have to pay attention for and look out for, because then you're running into a bigger issue that I can't even deal with. So yeah, I think that's fine advice. Gia, what do you think about that? That's an overly sexual question. You don't have to answer if you don't want. But I think like, I don't know. I think like whatever, man. Like just bring it up. Do you feel if ever that has happened to you, would you, or hypothetically, would you feel awkward in that situation guiding someone?
No, I don't think so.
I've never really thought about it.
I've never like thought about that, like needing to have that conversation. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I don't know.
I know it's weird. It's weird. But yeah, it's just, it's one of those things where it's just not, it's not as big of a deal as you think, and I feel bad that this guy was like stressing about it, but if anybody else is stressing about it, no stress. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. All right, so those voicemails were fantastic. I love when people call in, like I said. This whole episode's been wonderful. Thank you to everybody who called in. I want to say a couple of things about next week. So next week's topic is going to be 4th of July related. We will be off the following week it's like the 6th, I think. We have like all of Barstool is off, so we can't host a show. And everybody's gonna be partying 4th of July, so nobody's watching. But we also, next week, starting on Sunday at 7 p.m., the 26th, we have the premiere of Barstool vs. America Season 2, which, of course, I'm a part of. You all heard me crying about it when I got back. I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. But on Wednesday of next week at 7 p.m., and the third or fourth, I think the 4th episode of Barstool vs. America will be premiering at the same time as this show. So the live callers are very much encouraged to call in about Barstool vs. America, about what's going on. I will have seen the episode ahead of time, so I'll be able to talk about it in real time, or just whatever people want to talk about in that aspect. That's also very, very welcome. Voicemails are welcome about it, because 3 episodes will have aired by then. Very, very down to talk about it. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm nervous. I hope it's good. I hope you guys all like it. And I can't wait to chat with you next week. Mwah, mwah.